The issue of race in America predates the founding of the American Republic. The founders debated the issue of slavery with great passion. Because of a regional divide, they were unable to settle the issue and knew it would lead to an eventual insurrection, which came in the form of the Civil War some 80 years after the founding. That war almost split the nation apart. It ended slavery, but certainly didn't put the issue of race to rest. In the 150 years since the Civil War, we've dealt with this issue repeatedly, and it's fair to say that the response of this nation to the Jim Crow laws and other despicable forms of racial discrimination has accelerated rapidly over the last 50 or 60 years, to the point where we elected and re-elected a black man to the most powerful position in the nation and the world. But recently, we've been exposed to incidents which put the issue of race right back on the table. A Western rancher, Cliven Bundy, depicted as a hero by some for his refusal to bow to the power of the federal government, made bald statements akin to those of slave owners before the Civil War. And then Donald Sterling, the owner of a basketball team, made embarrassing statements in a private conversation that was illegally recorded by his girlfriend. But the cases should not be treated the same way, with a broad brush, in a nation that prides itself on fairness and presumes innocence until guilt is proven. And while the statements of Bundy reveal an undeniable Civil War-era plantation mentality, those of Sterling, if you actually listen to the recording instead of the media's interpretation of it, prove only that the man is actually guilty of presuming that others are racist. That may make him foolish or misguided, but they don't make him a racist. But no matter, Sterling's been roasted on a public spit and effectively banned for all time from his team. Is this what a supposedly post-racial America looks like? How many of us could measure up to the scrutiny of our private conversations being aired in public and judged by the thought police? How many of the high and mighty critics casting stones on their pedestals are without sin that is as bad or worse? We now live in a world increasingly dominated by anonymous and cowardly know-nothings weighing in with incendiary comments on the internet, reacting to public spectacles marked by the practiced outrage of a rogues gallery of falsely pious hypocrites, front-runners, and bandwagon jumpers. The force of gravity in America has always been towards liberty. We are imperfect, as are all nations and individuals. We've made many mistakes and denied many their liberty, but we are ultimately and always drawn as if by gravity back to liberty. There's a big difference between a racist nation and a nation that contains racists. All societies and sports leagues contain racists of every color. It's a condition of the heart and part and parcel of the human condition. As is so often the case, this story is less about what was done or said and more about the reaction to it. And especially considering the enormous, palpable, and undeniable gains we've made in the equal treatment of all our citizens, the public execution of Donald Sterling tells a sad tale about where we are as a nation.